presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day. Tom takes your phone calls toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Hey, Robert, how you doing, man?
Yes, and thank you for taking my call. I wanted to let you know that I've been a subscriber for a couple of years, just different members of your team, and I really enjoy it. But really the reason I'm calling is to express my sincerest gratitude for you providing that information yesterday on the small business scratch. I'm a small business owner and primary breadwinner for my family, and if I can get that money, it's going to really mean a lot to my family. So
that's awesome.
Thank you for taking the time to do that.
No, well, listen, man, we appreciate you growling a problem with us.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
Good afternoon, folks. This is Steve Rhodes, not Tom O'Brien, coming to you live from Delray Beach, Florida. It's great to be with you. It's an honor to be with you. And I'll be filling in for Tom for the hour. Now, Tom likes to start his show by reading one of the 4 agreements, or he's got those cards that have a whole bunch of things out there. I won't do that. Instead, I happen to be having a conversation inside our Tiger's Den earlier, and the name Jim Rohn came up. Don't know if you know Jim Rohn, but great writings, great teachings out there. So we'll start with a few of his thoughts on ideas. And it goes like this. If you wish to find, you must search. Rarely does a good idea interrupt you. Something to think about. He goes on, he says, ideas are information taking shape. And we'll end with this. Nothing is more powerful for your future than being a gatherer of good ideas and information. That's called doing your homework. Look, thank you so much for joining us. I do my homework. I'm going to share with you a number of ideas that you'll be able to use for your trading and investing. Of course, I would also love to hear from you. It's an interactive show, so you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. Now, if you can't call in, I've got a way to cover you there. You can just send me an email, steve@tfnn.com. Inside that subject heading, if you'd be kind enough to put radio show question. Of course, in our Tiger's Den, well, any ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on wonderful Wednesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. Again, I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Nearly all the indices trading to the upside. The Rohn, not Rome, but Rohn, R-O-H-N out there. The Russell 2000 just gone slightly negative. It's down less than a buck out there. The Dow's up 128, the S&P 7, the NASDAQ 103, semis 22, trannies 50, NASDAQ Composite a couple of points, Wilshire up 99, gold is up $5, silver is back 31 cents. Let's start by taking a look at spot volatility, which is just slightly positive. It's trading out at 21.66. So here is a good idea. A good idea of understanding how the VIX operates and the type of signals that it can provide to you and I. Let's go take a look at this signal. And this signal that we're going to look at is a signal that shows a rising spot volatility index. That is the bottom portion of this screen out here. The top portion is the S&P 500. You'll see these green diagonal lines. Those are divergences that set up. All divergences, this type of divergence, lead to some type of retracement. Sometimes it leads to something even worse than that. So even though the markets look wonderful, there is a tool and there's an indicator right now that is saying time to be cautious. Now, this can resolve itself, meaning make the divergence go away with a close, and the close would need to be, and this is spot volatility index, below 2462. I take that back. Below 2087. Forget it, 2462 is the 50-day exponential moving average. There must be a close below 2087. The trade right now is at 21.66. This is very subtle, but this is a great idea for you to watch and observe. Now, you can't just trade the divergence. There has to be some other type of signal coming for the S&P 500, the ES Mini. We'll take a look at those. But you can see on my screen here, and I can take this screen back. We can go back years and years out here. You'll see these divergent patterns form, and when they are present, we pay attention. Now, the second idea with regard to the spot volatility index is that the S&P 500 does not get rocking and rolling to the downside unless price closes above the 50-day exponential moving average. Now, you may say, come on, Steve-O, it cannot be that easy. I suggest that you then look at this chart. And this chart here takes us back into 2018. You'll see some green and yellow rectangles, squares. The bottom panel here, also the spot volatility index. The top portion is the S&P 500. And those squares, rectangles, they represent periods of time when the spot volatility index is above or below the 50-day exponential moving average. When the spot volatility index is above the 50-day exponential moving average, those yellow areas, price will typically move sideways to lower. When price is above the 50-day exponential move, when price is below the 50-day exponential moving average, such as it is right now, price will move sideways to higher. But it is that divergence that is something that many people would overlook, wouldn't even know about it. So I'm giving you a great idea. What I like to think is great information, whether it's an idea or not, great information. It does say to be cautious. Now, that's the first piece of caution. And we take a look at the charts out here as we go through the details. They all look very bullish. They really do. But it's some of these other tools out here that say, hey, not so fast. So here we've been taking a look at the S&P 500 and its relationship to the spot volatility index. Another great tool is understanding, when I say great, I don't mean great, I mean extraordinary. I mean, when it comes to investing, when it comes to trading, what you need to understand is what does it look like in the other trader's pocket? That's right. What does the trade look like in the other person's pocket? If you're sitting over in Europe and gold is moving lower in terms of euros, but it's breaking out and moving higher in terms of dollars, and you're over in Europe, are you going to buy? And the answer is no. You're not going to. You're only going to buy an instrument, a component, a stock, a commodity, if it is moving higher. Well, maybe you like to buy something that's moving lower, but most people are going to want to buy something that's moving higher out there. So that says we need to go take a look at the Dow and understand how is it trading. We know how it's trading in terms of U.S. dollars. We're at a new all-time high today. We're above the 2020 high. But when we take a look at how the Dow is priced in euros, this is where the real big stink is in the market. And when I say real big stink, what a market needs is a market needs concentration of capital, not just capital in the U.S., a concentration of capital, worldwide capital. Now, when we take a look at this chart here, we can understand how the trader in Europe or the trader in Japan and another part of Europe, I've got the UK, and so we've got the pounds, yen, and euros out here. And the Dow priced in yen is sitting right at its 2020 high. So it's just sitting right at, no breakout. In terms of pounds, slightly below, that would be 22,803.78. That was the high in 2020 of the Dow priced in pounds. And so in order for there to be a real breakout going, a real party, we need to see the Dow taking out the highs in each of these currencies. And that is what we don't have in place right now. Another thing that is worth tracking, this is something I track each and every day, is not just how the Dow is trading in terms of those currency pairs, but how are other indices around the globe? Because what we want to understand is there a concentration of capital somewhere? Here we get to take a look at the Dow, the DAX, the FTSE, the Shanghai. We get to look at gold, T-bonds, the major currencies, the Nikkei, the Hang Seng, the Australian S&P 200, emerging markets, West Texas Intermediate Crude, and commodities. Steve, and here, when we look at these charts here, definitely not a concentration of capital in the U.S. That has us being cautious. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. You're right.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get them, folks.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, TAS understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the TAS Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today.
Hey there, I'm Andy Arbertine with Tiger Precious Metals and Stones. Whether you're looking to buy and sell precious metals or trying to find the perfect diamond ring, I'm here to help. I have over 15 years of experience with diamonds and precious metals. You can call me directly at 727-329-8245, and I will personally answer any questions you have and help you find exactly what you're looking for. I will be your personal concierge in the metal and stone business. Give me a call today, 727-329-8245.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back to the Tom O'Brien Show, folks. I'm Steve Rhodes, filling in for Tom for the day. Thanks so much for joining us. As we were going into that break, we were taking a look at this table here. And this table shows us how these instruments being things such as the Dow Equity Future Contract, the ES Mini, the Nikkei, the Hang Seng, the Australian markets, emerging markets, West Texas Intermediate. So a number of different instruments and how they're trading, not just priced in dollars, but how they're trading in terms of euros, yen, and pounds. And this is as of the beginning of the year. So we're 27 days into the new year. 2021. And as we take a look at this, we do not see a concentration of capital in equity markets. We do see that, in fact, of all the markets here, these markets that we're looking at, the leader, the winner chicken dinner, is what? It would be Bitcoin. That's up 54%. Short of Bitcoin, we'd be taking a look at West Texas Intermediate. It's up 20%, priced in dollars, 21 in euros, 24 in yen, 19% in pounds out there. We can take a look at the Goldman Sachs Commodity Index. That's the second highest mover percentage-wise. And then the Hang Seng is up 9 to 10% out there. Is capital concentrating over in Asia? It's possible. It's very possible. It's very possible. But what it's not doing here, it hasn't concentrated itself in the U.S. And that put together with the Dow chart just says we must be cautious out here. So let's go to a couple of our questions. In fact, the first one from Dean. Dean writes in, he says, when you're doing Tom's show, could you look at the oil sector for possible 9-count reversal areas, XLE, crude, so forth. So let's go take a look at crude oil. And let's start looking at crude oil. Let me get this chart up here. And this is going to be our daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly profiles out there. But before we do that, I'm going to pull up my white background charts because the specific question was, and take a look at light sweet crude, and this is what Dean was asking, is there some kind of topping pattern out there? And he was referring to the TD9 count. Well, today, Dean, is going to be bar number 8 of a TD9 count. Folks, if you're not familiar with this pattern, you're looking for good ideas, trading ideas, you're looking to learn, then sign up for Mastering Probability. That's the newsletter that I author. And included in the subscription and you can try the subscription for 30 days, is a series of workshops, 8 or 9 hours or more worth of trading that will teach you the exact same tools that I use here. So bar number 8, and we know that light sweet crude or any instrument can top or bottom on bars 8, 9, or the bar after bar number 9. In fact, on a daily basis, light sweet crude bottom with two of the patterns that I use to determine whether an instrument may be making a top or bottom. Here was the TD9 count. It was the bar following bar number 9, and it was a Rhodes momentum indicator signal. So it's possible, Dean, there is going to be a top inside of light sweet crude between today and Friday. It's possible. Sometimes these TD9 count patterns don't identify a top or bottom or just lead to a quick sideways move out there. And that's where we want to understand where support or resistance is. So that's what's going on the daily time frame. Let's go back to my other chart out here. The other chart, when I said, or maybe if you listen to the 3 o'clock update, I believe I said, or I've said it many times, is that light sweet crude is headed up to the $70 area eventually over time. The reason that we come up with that $70 area, it's not something I pulled out of my arse. It's an A to B equals CD to the upside. Another pattern. And this is coming off of the monthly chart. Remember when crude oil, way back when being April, in this case here, the contract that we're looking at got down to a price point of $8.59. Well, now we've got the A to B equals CD. In fact, I would say not 70.18, but more like 80 to 92 bucks in the case of light sweet crude. That doesn't mean that it doesn't have some resistance or we're not going to see some pullbacks out here. Right now, light sweet crude has gotten back inside its quarterly profile. Yeah, the quarterly profile. Resistance at 57.58, price is trading at 58.62. That says price should target the 60.97 level next. That is the center of its monthly profile. Above that, we're looking at 66.26. That's the center of its quarterly profile. And above that, 67.51. And that gets us closer to the initial one-to-one monthly price projection of $70.18. So that's what's going on. We take a look at light sweet crude over the long haul out there. And light sweet crude in people's portfolios is rising in every major currency. Now, Dean also wanted us to take a look at the XLE. So let's pull over the energy sector. I'm going to just look at the daily time frame chart for us out here. And as we take a look at it, we can see that the energy sector does not have a TD9 count top at present. However, Dean, when when the energy sector topped, it was with a TD9 count, and it was also with a Rhodes momentum indicator signal. The TD9 count unfolded on January 14th. We got the Rhodes momentum indicator signal back on November 15th. It wasn't until price closed below the oscillator and change line. That's that little squiggly green line on my chart, and I teach you that too as well. But on the trading day of January 21st, that gave you the signal that price was going to head lower. Now, in the case of the XLE, and this is the importance of wanting to learn the TD9 count pattern out here, when it bottomed, this is the XLE, the trading day of February 1st, that was bar number 8 of that TD9 count. So this is going to be bar number 6. You're coming back into resistance on the XLE. It's prior highs out here. We can go take a look at the volume metric. We'll go do that, see how price is pushing into that swing point. I mean, after all, this is Tom's show, and he is the master of the swing point and volume. So let's go take a look at the XLE, see what kind of signal it's generating for us today. So the swing point had volume. This is, again, the trading day of January 14th, 42 million shares. You're into that swing point right now with 21 million shares. So what does that mean? Look, when you close inside a swing point, when I say close inside the swing point range is between 43.43, the low of January 14th, and the high, 45 bucks even Steven. As long as you trade within a swing point, even if it's lighter volume, you can still go test the top. The top is 45 bucks even Steven. Now, if you take that out with volume, that sets up a small A to B equals CD to upside, or what we would say is a confirmed A to B equals CD to upside. So what happens if the TD9 count pattern doesn't identify a top? Or perhaps the TD9 count pattern doesn't even form at all? We won't know until tomorrow. Well, if price does take out that $45 level, you're looking for a move at least projected to 46.92. Again, this is the XLE that we're looking at, or maybe 49.10. But no top in place, just price getting back to a prior swing point, doing with lighter volume out there, Dean. And hopefully that helps you out with regard to what's going on in light sweet crude as well as the energy sector. The next request comes in from Eddie. Hey, Eddie, thanks for writing in. Hope you're doing well. Eddie wants to take a look at ticker symbol DDOG. They're reporting earnings tomorrow. So let's go see what DDOG is. Anyways, DDOG is Datadog. And the question is, if you have time, maybe you could look at another one. That's fine, too. But you just asked me to look at it. Well, so because I suppose what you're really asking is there some kind of clue as to what this instrument might do, knowing that earnings are coming out. Well, here's what we know. We know that it has reached a prior swing point. That prior swing point on a daily basis is October 13th. Volume there was 4.7 million shares. This price was testing that area, was light volume yesterday, 2.9 today, 1.6. So see how it's having trouble busting through those highs. Not that it can't, but it's having trouble busting through those highs. When we get back from this break, let's go take a look at Datadog from Eddie, who I know happens to live or be in the Boca Raton area, not too far down the street from Stevie's son. We'll be back in just a few.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar is worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The Gold Report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The Gold Report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den trading room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the Tom O'Brien Show, folks. I'm Steve Rhodes, filling in for Tom for the day. I do, in case you're not familiar with me, I host a show at 1 o'clock each day called The Trader's Edge. Put together a newsletter service called Mastering Probability. Let's go back to Eddie's question out here, which was taking a look at that Datadog. They're coming out with earnings. I believe it's after the bell tomorrow. And I think Eddie's just trying to figure out, hey, where might this be headed? So we know the price is trading into a prior swing point with lighter volume. So dangerous. Do we have a topping pattern out here? Not really. And prices trade above the oscillator and change line of 111.63, Eddie. Do you stay if you're long? I don't have reasons to tell you to exit. If price were below 111.66, I would suggest a further retracement or pullback. You're moving into a swing point with lighter volume. So it really depends on where you're at inside of that trade. The weekly's not providing us with any other signals either, other than the fact that even on a weekly basis, price is pushing higher into that swing point with less relative volume out there, so a little bit dangerous. You asked me to take a look at ticker symbol ZG as well, so let's go take a look at that. I believe that's coming out with earnings in, well, I didn't mean to do it on that chart. Oh, shoot, Steve-O. Nope, I'll have to go back and rebuild that. No big deal. It's just what it is. ZG is the Zillow group out here, and this is trading above the top of its daily, weekly, and monthly profile. So the question is, does the daily time frame chart for Zillow group show us any kind of a topping signal out here? Let's expand the chart, and the answer is no. And we're looking just at the daily time frame chart out here. Today's going to be bar number 8 of a TD9 count, but yesterday's high was a higher high. So at this stage here, even though it has a TD9 count, it's not a valid topping signal at this stage. Now, if we see a higher high come tomorrow, meaning above yesterday's high, tomorrow or Friday, well, then you would have a valid TD9 topping pattern. But you're asking about before earnings. Is there any kind of a signal? There is no signal here that price wants to move lower. It's above all kinds of support. Hey, if this had the absolute worst response to earnings or whatever it might be guiding, then you would be looking at ZG pulling back to 130, even Steven. So, Eddie, thanks so much for writing in. Hope that helps you out. And best of luck with whatever you're doing with ZG and or DGOG. We've got another question here. This is from David in Texas. And David wants to take a look at, let me get this going on my white background chart, Occidental Petroleum. OXY is the ticker symbol. So we're staying inside that theme of the energy sector out here. I think Occidental is number 1 or 2 inside the XLE, so probably is not going to look much different than the XLE chart. But let's go take a look at the actual charts out here. By the way, price above the daily, weekly, and monthly profile, so all those things are good. Oh, man, it's just slowing. There we go. Just has a lot to populate when it was just taking a bit of time out here. But we're back to the daily time frame for Occidental Petroleum. And here what we can see is today is going to be bar number 8. We also have wave number 7. That's courtesy of the Chapman wave. That's letter G. And prices moving higher with less relative energy. All those are just simply potential topping signals. Prices above its green oscillator and change line, which is 23.84. But yes, this could identify a top today, tomorrow, or Friday using that TD9 count pattern. David, if this is going to form a top, you need to see it close below 23.84. And then that just suggests that price could pull back to test other areas of support. Those being 21.79, 2010, 19.53, and then finally 17.32. And that's taking a look at the daily time frame chart. So that's Occidental Petroleum. But other than that, looks like it wants to continue to move higher. And this from a long-term standpoint. Now, when I say long-term standpoint, I'm referring to the monthly chart, and the month is not over. But if you do see a close above 24.43 in the month of February, this is generating a change in trend signal for the monthly time frame. So, David, thanks so much for listening in on the show. Again, a daily, weekly, monthly, not any additional information really that I can provide there that would assist you. Dan writes in and says, I bought 1,000 shares of SNDL and then sold some and maybe bought some back. SNDL, let's get those rolling out there. That is Sundial Growers, SND. Oops, I want to get that going on my other chart here. SNDL. So let's get that rolling. And let's read the question. Further read the question. So you bought some at 26. You sold it at 80. Beautiful. Wondering what to do now with the 6,000 free shares that you have that are skyrocketing. Are you kidding? Hold them. They're free shares. So I don't know what Dan's intent was when he got into this trade. There is nothing like having free shares out here. This instrument, Sundial Growers, now what I don't know is this truly, did this IPO back in August of 2019, and did it run from $13.22 at the high all the way down and basically a straight line into October of 2020 when it got down to 14 cents. And now it's up at 287. So kudos to you on getting this and taking some money off the table and now having all those free shares. And you're asking me what to do? Man, I think you've got this nailed so far. I don't have a topping signal, or the daily time frame charts don't have a topping signal. So that suggests staying put. I don't know what's behind the move out here. So if it's real, okay, all the better. On the weekly basis, as I try to populate this, function 5, no topping signal. In fact, this says you're headed to 402. Now, this is a weekly time frame, so it could take quite a ways to get up there. But closing last week above 94 cents, you're trading at $1.65 right now, takes out a TD9 resistance level. By the way, this bottom with the TD9 count out there, and that suggests for this time frame a change in trend. So if it's me, I'm staying with those free shares out there. If we look at the monthly time frame chart out here, also bottoming. Well, I don't know if it was a TD9 count. Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom for sure. But this is suggesting a move up to 388. So I don't have any signals out here to suggest, Dan, that you jettison this position, even if I go to a 30-minute time frame chart, which generated a Rhodes Momentum Indicator topping pattern as we came into 330. It's now 337. All that was doing at this stage of the game was testing and rejecting that green oscillator and change line. So you're in really a neutral position for the 30-minute time frame. You're certainly not in a bearish position for the 30-minute time frame. So what to do? Do what's right for you. But if you're asking me, is there a topping pattern that's in place right now for the daily, weekly, or monthly? The answer there, my friend, is there is not. So congrats on the trade, and best of luck with Sundial Growers out there. Let's go to our next question. Next question coming in from nope, that's not a question. That was coming in from Eddie, who was just saying thanks. And you're very welcome. And thank you to each of you for taking the time to go ahead and write in. It just makes the show go so much quicker. Plus, you get information, hopefully information or ideas that you're looking for, and that's really what it's all about. For example, one of our dinners, Zippity Doodah and Zippity Day, you got to love that. You got to love that. Well, Stevie does. I typed in your name. That's not what you were asking about. Well, here's what we know, Zip. There's no ticker symbol Zip. That could be yours. That could be yours if you're going to take your company public. But what Zip was looking at was Kang, C-A-N-G. I have to learn how to type. Kango Inc. is the ticker symbol, or not is the name of the company out here. It's trading out at 1438, and 1438 happens between with inside its daily profile. And it's a gigantic one. When I say gigantic, I'm talking the bottom is at 899, the top is at 1960. That's quite a spread. Price is above the center out there, so it's bullish in structure because that center is closer to the bottom than it is to the top. But prices within the profile on the daily, above the weekly and above the monthly.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as,
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and to help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archive workshops that'll take you step by step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Tom O'Brien.
Oh, my clock is different than Tom's. That's weird. Did I just talk through a whole segment? Did I really do that? Did I do that? Good Lord. And if I did, nobody might have heard that, so I'm not sure. So this was with regard to Kang. I just want to make sure that I'm very clear with regard to what the charts are communicating to us. So, man, I can't believe I did that. Well, I did. Let's not live in our past. So here's the deal with regard to Kang Zip, and that was this. Price below 1459. That's the oscillator and change line. The short-term time frame charts are all signaling that we could see lower prices. So with regard to adding to the position, we're going to say hold off. Hold off based upon the chart patterns out there. And I hope that helps you out. And how about that? Just talk through an entire commercial out there. All right, let me see if we've got any other requests, and if we don't, we'll have some things certainly to take a look at. In fact, let's go take a look at some of the charts or some of the tools that are included with the Mastering Probability newsletter. So I'll just show you some things. If you're trying to understand, for example, let's take a look at the GDX. Let me just pull over the GDX. Now here, this is included in each evening's newsletter, this report right here. And this lists all of the U.S. components inside of the GDX. And what I provide you with here is I provide you with what the market outlook. Now, when I say market outlook, there are different levels of bullishness and different levels of bearishness. And this tool here lets you know what the market outlook conditions are for the daily, the weekly, the monthly, even a 15-minute, a 30-minute, a 65-minute, 130-minute chart out there, what those market conditions are. Now, those are helpful to you. Why are those helpful to you? If you're looking at an instrument and you see a potential bottom on the daily time frame, what you're really looking for on these shorter-term time frames is the confirmation. And the confirmation is that it's gone into bullish mode or a breakout bullish mode along those lines. What is also provided to us, we provide the TD9 counts, where we're at right now. We've got a TD9 count bottom signal I take that back, a topping signal inside of Eldorado Gold. That's in bar number 9. Of all of these instruments out here, it's the only one that's in bar number 9 at this stage of the game. As far as the Chapman wave counts out here, we've got Chapman wave 7th wave moves on Franco-Nevada. Now, this may have happened days ago. And the same thing here in the GDX. So each of those are signaling that there may be a bottom that is in place out here. But here you've got what the market outlook for each of those time frames, as well as whether or not there's any kind of Rose momentum indicator tops for you. So you get that for this group. If we take a look at what's going on, let me see here, internationally. So if we take a look at what's going on internationally, let's go ahead and pull that out here. And that is on this tab. Here, what traders do, what traders, investors do. So let's say you're managing your portfolio. And if you're, and a wealth manager is going to diversify their portfolio into U.S. stocks, international stocks, things along those lines. Here is the international stock area, or one of the international stock areas. Here we take a look at many different countries. I got Poland, Singapore, Turkey, Australia, Hong Kong. You can see them all. And you can also see what's going on with regard to their timeframes, daily, weekly, monthly. In fact, when you take a look at the daily, everything is in a bullish mode, daily, weekly, and monthly outlook. So we've got this worldwide rally that's going on, yet no concentration of capital anywhere. Whenever there's a lack of concentration of capital, that rug pull can be pretty large. We don't have that just yet, but it is something, as we talked about during that first segment, something to keep our eyes on. Now, how this helps you, I had mentioned the wealth portfolio. So I provide subscribers every evening with what those wealth portfolios look like. So, for example, this is your typical wealth portfolio. If you were a customer of Goldman Sachs, J.P. Morgan, Wells Fargo, they all are using ETFs, or at least they were as of the end of 2020 out here. And those portfolios would be broken down into U.S. equities, foreign equities, fixed income, real estate, commodities, and then master limited partnership. This would be what those would be made up of. And so if you're just beginning your portfolio, this is a great way to learn and to understand what instruments are bullish that you might want to buy in here. And so we've got this for each of the time frames. We've got different support levels, whether it's TAS market profiles or the oscillator and change line, or our TD9 breakout areas out there. So each of these things are included. Now, that's one version of it. Those of you that are TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim users, you may be familiar with their portfolio, which are really all parts, not all, but many of the parts come from the Russell 2000. And this is what they have used for decades. And forget the NAs. I've got some type of data issue that is in here, and I'll have to resolve that later on. But if you just take a look at the equity section, this would be what how they recommend that you allocate your long-term portfolios. Now, I don't have the percentages here, and I can share that information with you out here, but you want to take a look at, so it's an extraordinary way of understanding what's going on with regard to what the outlook is for each of the areas of your long-term portfolios out there. Dan writes in, he's right into Dan. I know that this wasn't for me, but his question was, is UVX a buy here? So, Dan, the easy way to answer that means trying to take a long trade on the spot volatility index. And the easiest way to answer that question, for me to help you answer that question, would be taking a look at this rising bottoms that we have inside the spot volatility index, while we also have had higher highs inside the S&P 500. And so this signal here would be a reason to at least consider taking that trade. The rising spot volatility index, not that it can't resolve itself in the other way, but right now, this would be the piece of information that would assist you in doing that. By the way, wanted to make mention here that right now, the Dow itself is attempting to form a brand new daily profile. Now, it's bullish in structure. And the cool thing about these profiles, folks, is this provides you with a competitive edge. Now, all subscribers see all of the profile levels, certainly for the equity futures contracts, as well as what's going on short-term and many of the other instruments out there. And these help you understand where buyers and sellers are positioned. So here's what we know right now. Sellers are positioned inside the Dow equity future contract at 31,451. And buyers, now I do want to, one caveat here. It's attempting to form a new profile. I'm using my advanced Doppler tool in order to generate that. I won't know until 6:01 this evening whether it takes hold. But right now, it appears to be taking hold. And that gives us support at 38.81 and 31.071 and resistance at 31.451. Those levels, those numbers are important right down on a pad of paper. If you see the Dow equity future contract and, in fact, that this profile takes hold above 31.451, that's just simply a message that it wants to, it being the Dow equity future contract, continue to move higher. Likewise, if you were to see a close below 30.881, we're not going to see that now. But if price did close below that, that's a signal of a change in trend. And a change in trend with price likely headed back to the 29,505 area out there. Let's go take a look at IRBT. And that is going to be for Dan in Boston, inside of our Tiger's Den. So I have to do this, Dan. We're about to go to a break. I'm not going to talk through this break here. I'm going to actually go to a commercial. But when we get back from this break, we're going to go take a look at iRobot, I believe it is, and see what the TD9s are communicating to Dan. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
If you're a trader in the market looking to find the path that leads to maximizing profits while decreasing risk, then now is a great time to try out Dave White's daily trading service, The Path of Least Resistance. Through the use of options and equity trades, Dave advises his subscribers on a daily basis of the current market conditions and what possible trade setups are on the horizon. The Path of Least Resistance is published every trading morning, often with updates intraday when initiating trades or closing out positions. Dave White has advised his clients of some outstanding winning options and equity trades in recent months, and now is a great time to try it out for yourself. New subscribers to the Path of Least Resistance receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the types of options and equity trades that are available by signing up for the Path of Least Resistance today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com and selecting the Newsletter tab. Sign up today.
Introducing Primal Edge.
Today, it's even more important to take a supplement that complements your health. Primal Edge is specifically formulated to boost your immune system and help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Our early ancestors found all their nutritional requirements in the wild environment. But today, our food sources don't contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated humic and fulvic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They've been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, without them, life cannot exist.
That's right, Ellen. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge. Just $89 exclusively at TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back to the Tom O'Brien Show, folks. I'm your guest host, Steve Rhodes, filling in for Tom. Thanks so much for joining us today. And let's close out this show. Let's do a couple of things. First, let's take a look at iRobot. Then we'll go look at the short-term time frame chart, see if there's any kind of signals or clues as to what the market might do this evening. So in the case of iRobot, Dan was specifically asking about any kind of TD9 count tops. On the daily time frame chart, you don't have anything to worry about. Price right now, Dan, is above the oscillator and change line. That's at 125.05. Now, what we know is that at the center of a profile, which price is trading into, that's at 130.88. There's both buyers and sellers there. We don't know if there's more buyers or more sellers. We just know at this stage here, that's your next resistance point. Now, if price can close above 130.88, I'm not talking 130.89. I don't know what I'm talking. I just know that it's not 1 p.m. That's not 1 penny above that level. But if price can close above it, because it's a bullish structured profile, slightly bullish structured, price should be able to make a run for 164. You want to see this continue to trade above the oscillator and change line, which is at $1.25 even Steven. In the short-term time frame, now when I say short-term, I'm going from the daily to the 295-minute bars that form each day inside of iRobot. And on those bars here, you now have a valid TD9 count. You got earnings tonight. Like the daily is saying it wants to move higher. The 195-minute chart, you've got a valid TD9 count, and price could pull back to 114.14. Look, it could do more than that, but that is the breakout area on that time frame. So price just pulls back there. If that's what happens, no fret. Don't worry about it. That would be normal. If price closes below 114, that could be trouble. When I say trouble, 90, 95 would be the next thing. The 130-minute time frame chart, no topping signal. The 65-minute time frame chart, this has a what? No topping signal out here to worry about. The 30-minute time frame chart, it's got a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top and price just moving sideways. You know, Dan, no reason to jettison the position or anything that I see at this stage of the game out there. But price could pull back based upon that 195-minute chart. Hey, folks, thanks so much for being here today. And we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We start at 8:30 in the morning. We run till 4 p.m. And tune into the Trader's Edge tomorrow. Give Mastering Probability